Welcome to the XFO Intelligence Podcast, where we explore the strategies shaping the future of wealth and legacy. Today's episode, created in collaboration with Consigg Group, that's a global family office with offices in the People's Republic of China, Hong Kong SAR, and Switzerland, tackles a really fundamental question. How can families ensure their philanthropic efforts create a legacy that, truly endures?
It's such a critical question, Alex. I mean, so many well-intentioned gifts just feel transactional.
Yeah.
Like a momentary transfer of funds. But our latest report from XFO Intelligence, Deep Augmented Thinking, it explores a totally different path. It's a framework for moving from being a simple donor to becoming a true legacy architect.
And to bring this framework to life, the report focuses on what is, it's truly a masterclass in modern philanthropy.
Right.
For this episode, we're discussing the featured case study, Dr. Uli Sigg's transformative gift to WKCDA's M+ Museum. Now, Chloe, you've followed this story for years.
I have.
So for those who don't know it, set the scene for us.
Of course. So let's go back in time. We have Dr. Sigg, who's a Swiss diplomat and businessman.
Okay.
And he was living in China since the late 1970s. That position gave him this incredibly deep first-hand understanding of the country's profound cultural and social transformation.
Wow.
Over decades.
So he had a front row seat to history in the making.
Exactly.
Long before many others were even paying attention.
Exactly. But it was only in the mid-90s that he focused on a new mission.
Right.
He noticed something truly alarming, a huge institutional gap. So while contemporary art was just exploding with creativity, no institution, not in China or abroad, was systematically collecting, documenting, or preserving this incredible artistic output. He saw a historical black hole in the making.
Wow, so an entire chapter of cultural history was at risk of just being scattered or simply vanishing.
Yeah.
His response is a perfect illustration of that first pillar of deep augmented thinking, deep contextual intelligence.
It's so much more than collecting. He wasn't just buying art he personally liked.
Right.
He was acting as a historian, methodically using his deep knowledge to solve a systemic failure. He understood the context so profoundly that he saw what was truly at stake.
Wow, and that deep intelligence then paved the way for the next pillar, multi-generational architecture.
Yes.
Which is all about designing the philanthropic act itself for permanence.
Right. So after decades of the scholarly, methodical collecting, he made his move. The donation of 1,463 works to the newly built M+ Museum was the culmination. And the choice of M+ was itself an act of strategic genius. This new, ambitious institution in Hong Kong offering a global platform with significant curatorial autonomy.
So he was making sure the collection wouldn't just be stored away in a vault.
Not at all.
But would be actively displayed, studied, and debated for generations. I also understand there was a hybrid model involved?
Yes, a separate sale of 47 additional key pieces to M+. It was a brilliant, pragmatic structure that ensured the museum had real skin in the game. This wasn't just a gift.
Right.
It was the co-creation of a world-class institution.
Which leads perfectly to the most powerful pillar of the DAT framework, Virtuous Cycle Engineering. This is where a single, well-designed act triggers this whole cascade of positive, self-reinforcing outcomes. Let's break down the cycles Dr. Sigg created.
Okay, first, for the institution, M+ instantly became a global powerhouse in contemporary art, a magnet for talent, for funding, and future donations.
Then, second, for the art market.
Yeah.
The donation validated and elevated the entire field of Chinese contemporary art on a global stage, lifting the entire ecosystem of artists, galleries, and other collectors.
And finally, the most personal cycle, the one for the donor himself. The Sigg name is now inseparable from the story he helped preserve. His legacy isn't just a name on a plaque.
No.
It's woven into the very fabric of art history.
So the XFL report then masterfully distills this into a practical, repeatable framework for family offices.
It does.
It urges them to first conduct a family capital audit.
This means looking beyond just financial capital.
Okay.
What is your family's intellectual capital, your unique expertise, your social capital, your networks and influence, and your cultural capital, your family's own story and collections?
And once you understand your unique strengths, you can adopt what the report calls a gap filler mindset.
Exactly. You shift the question from what causes do we like
Yeah.
to what critical, unsolved problem are we uniquely equipped to solve, just like Sigg did?
But of course, such ambitious projects carry risks.
Sure.
The report is very clear-eyed about this, addressing things like institutional misalignment or the risk of the next generation not sharing the founder's vision. It offers concrete solutions
Right.
like rigorous due diligence and, crucially, involving heirs in the process from day one to foster a shared mission.
This really reframes philanthropy as the ultimate entrepreneurial act.
Yes.
It's about identifying a market failure, in Dr. Sigg's case, a cultural preservation failure,
Right.
and building a systemic, lasting solution.
It's the founder's mindset applied to giving back.
Yes.
And for anyone listening,
Yeah.
if you want to see what this looks like in the real world,
We can't encourage you enough to take a trip to Hong Kong and visit the M+ Museum.
to stand in those galleries and see the Sigg collection is to witness firsthand what deep augmented thinking can achieve. It really does make the abstract concept of legacy breathtakingly real.
So as we close, we want to leave you with a question to reflect on, one inspired by the XFO Intelligence Report and the work of Benjamin Sigg, our collaborator from Consigg Group.
Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. If you were to conduct an audit of your family's unique capital, your knowledge, your network, your story, what critical gap in the world would you discover that you, and only you, are perfectly positioned to fill?